If you're unsure on how to structure your 3-day-a-week full body session, watch this video and we'll show you exactly how to do it in the next 60 to 90 seconds of planning. Watch this video, we'll talk you through it, exactly how to do it without overthinking and making things stressful. So first of all, we're gonna put in 3 leg movements for the days that we're gonna do. So for example, we are gonna do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. These are the days that typically people work with. It could be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, however you wanna do it. What we're looking for is a squat pattern of some sort. You may wonder what kind of squat it needs to be. Doesn't matter, so I'm just gonna put in a squat. So that is our squat pattern essentially for the week. We've got 1 movement in there. The next movement, we want to be looking at a hinge type movement. So it could be an RDL, it could be a deadlift of some sort. So for Wednesday, we're going to put in a Romanian deadlift. And then on our 3rd day, we like to go for a single leg type movement. So we could put in some lunges. Effectively now, we have 3 leg movements in over the week, and that is good enough for what we need to do. Again, this will depend on time and how much you can fit in for your session, what reps and sets that we're going to be doing. But for general population that are busy and just want to get more done, this is what we're going to do. Next up, we're going to look at a push movement. So for example, we're going to look at a bench press on the Monday. Okay, this could be based on dumbbells, it could be machine based, it could be barbell, it could even be push-ups. That is a pressing type movement. On our Wednesday, we have done a horizontal push. On the Wednesday, we are going to do a vertical. So we're going to look at something like a shoulder press or a seated dumbbell press. So we could go dumbbell press. And on the Friday, we might look at something like and on the Friday, we may look for something in between and go incline barbell press. Okay, so every day now has a leg movement and it has a push movement of some variation. Next, what we're going to look at is your pull movements. So on the Monday, we could pick, for example, a vertical pull and do a lat pull down or pull up. So we'll go pull up. Okay, Wednesday, we're going to be looking at a horizontal. So we may do a seated row. And then Friday, we may do a unilateral version and do a single arm row. So now all 3 days have a leg movement, they have a push movement, and they have a pull movement. The rest of this session can be made up from the accessories that we want to work, or if there's any specific areas that we want. Again, this is not bodybuilding advice. This is based for people that want to be stronger, want to be fitter, want to be healthier with the lack of time that they have in the week. So on the Monday, we may put in a bicep curl. So that is our bicep movement. On the Wednesday, we may put in a tricep push down. And then on the Friday, we might throw in some ab work or core work. So we could say ab crunch. So there we have it. Very, very simple. 4 movements for everything. So across the week, you have 12 movements that you need to do. That is how to make a very, very simple program. However, we can spice it up a little bit. We can add in supersets, we can add in giant sets, we can add in drop sets, again, depending on the amount of time that we have. For example, we could superset our dumbbell press with the seated row if we are lacking time. If we have a little bit more time, we could add in other movements. We could have tricep push down with a hammer curl. So again, you can add in more movements for arms. If there's something that you're lacking on or something that you want to get stronger, add in more over that. For some of the ladies, you may like to add in more glute work. So instead of a squat, you may want to swap it for a hip thrust. For some of the men, if you want to get bigger arms, bigger shoulders, we could add in more shoulder work. We could have ab crunch, lateral raises. You could superset that. So again, once you've built your base around it, there's so much that you can do, and you can play around with what squat works for you best. A leg press may work better for you. We've got lunges. You might prefer Bulgarian split squats, split squats. The RDL, some people prefer using dumbbells. So again, by using this kind of setup, it's very, very easy to do. You can literally plan this out in 60 to 90 seconds. Pick a squat, pick a hinge, pick a push, pick a pull, and we can base your workout around that. If you're new to it, again, I will go slightly higher on the reps. If you are new to training and you're unsure, I would start on the slightly higher rep range with lower weights so that you can learn the skill and learn the movement patterns before then going on to slightly heavier. We will do a separate video on this, on kind of strength training with lack of time also, but for now, use this and let us know how you get on. We have a few links below for some free stuff and some paid stuff as well, which may help you going forward. Check those out, and also check out the video that YouTube recommends next to me just here.